Well, it's the unknown mechanic back again, along with my squeaky chair. Today we're going to do a short. It's going to be an old school Briggs and Stratton rewind starter assembly. This belongs to Alejandro Micorcas, and it says replace spring and rope. So the spring is not broken. Both ends are still intact. However, he said that the rope was very sluggish to retract, and he specifically requested a new spring, even though this one's not broken. This one is just detensioned, and also there's a tremendous amount of dirt. And once dirt gets onto the coils of the spring, they resist sliding against each other and make the rope slow to retract. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to thoroughly clean this. So to make the video short, I'm going to cut that part out, and I'm going to come back when it's clean and ready to put together. Okay, I'm back from the cleaning process, and I've removed all of the dirt from the spring housing and blower housing and the starter pulley. And that is important because as you can see on the old spring, there's quite a bit of dirt on the coils, and as these coils slip past each other when the rope is being pulled out and then retracted, any dirt between the coils of the spring will slow down the action and gum up the works. So removing the dirt out of a starter, and especially the rewind spring, is important. And I don't like to use like a heavy grease to grease the spring. That'll just make it gummy and sticky and slow to retract. I like to use a very lightweight oil. And what we have here is Briggs and Stratton 490179 rewind spring, and they come pre-wound, so you got to be careful with them. They can jump out and get you. So I'm going to try to detension this very slowly, carefully. And to make this easier to put into the starter, it does help if you straighten them a little bit. So it's a little bit straighter. And one thing you want to check is the rope anchor right here can be worn, and if it's worn bad enough, the spring will just slip through. This one's okay, so I don't need to worry about that. I like to use a clamp so I don't need free hands. Okay, that's pretty secure. And I like to use the lightweight oil. And some mechanics, they like to insert the spring, install a pulley in the housing first, and then insert the spring parallel, and then once it's in there, rotate 90 degrees, and then it locks in place. And that's one way of doing it. I find that a little difficult. I prefer to get the spring through here and install it. Okay, so it's definitely locked in properly. And then drop it down in there. And once you get it in there, then you need some duckbill pliers. I've got a German pair of bent nose duckbills that works well for this. Bend the tab down, give you extra tabs because sometimes they break off. And then to wind the spring, Briggs and Stratton actually has a display package, a starter repair rope that has a rope winding tool in it. And these are not that expensive, so as a do-it-yourselfer, you might want to get this. It's a part number 5054K, and there's a rope winding tool in there. And I made my own homemade one years ago. I like this one because I can use a speed handle on it to wind the spring up faster. For a close up here. So there's their diagram for a homemade winding tool. You can just take some 3/4 inch stock and drill some holes in it and have a cross pin, and then you can hand wind the spring. And there's also a diagram here for a homemade rope inserting tool. I've never actually made one of these. I'm going to be using piano wire, and that works pretty well for me. And then this is the preferred knot. I've got one of the old style starters here that's got a metal pin, and that is the style of knot that I've used. And so now we're going to wind it. Now when you get very close to the end, it's possible that the spring could slip all the way through, and then you would have to start all over again. And so you've got to be real careful about that. Wind it up and then it slips through, and then you have to take it apart and start over. When you get close to the end, you want to grab your pliers here and make sure that the spring anchor fits into that slot. There, it did. Okay. Now, once you're sure that this is anchored, you wind this up 100%. Okay. Any more than that, and the spring will break. Now, at this point, I'm going to go back one turn. Now the rope eyelet is lined up with the starter housing eyelet, and I've got some holes here that will hold it in place. And so it can't go anywhere. It's wound. And now this rope rope hole is lined up with the rope guide and the starter housing. And at this point, I've already prepped my rope with the special knot shown in the service manual. It's in the pin and so forth. The rope's cut to the right length, 63 inches. It's number 5.5 heavy-duty Briggs rope. This rope used to be a standard white nylon, but they offer a heavy-duty version which is a little bit stronger, and it's black, but it's still number 5.5 rope, 63 inches. So if you don't have a little piece of piano wire, sometimes these kind of tools work very well for feeding the rope in and out, and so I recommend those too. Now at this point, you would just tie a standard knot. And you can pull these knots tighter with a pair of pliers. So you can see that knot is seated down in there, and it's not protruding out of the way and going to interfere with anything. And that's pretty much a done starter repair. Pull on the rope and release your winding tool. And there's a repaired Briggs and Stratton starter assembly. And so this one's going to be a short video for today. If you like my videos, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, and leave some comments, and hope that helps. I'll see you on the next one.